Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals, or semi-finales here of the PiGosaur Cup. PiGosaur Cup number 57. We've reached the top four. We have our top four players. We have Clem versus Percival in the upper semis, but we have our own series in the lower semi-finals. We have a PvZ and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Title Citadel. We have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. For Sidestrom Gaming, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, going for the 12 pool. God damn it. Going for the 12 pool, we have the blue Zerg player representing Team Falcons from land of South Korea. It is a Solar. I'm shaking my head. Here we go. Let's go. Bye. Let's go. As we're getting into our ZVP, and again, Soul's going for the 12 pool. Welcome to Title Citadel. This is a larger map. The map pool, larger map. I will say the bases are very spread out. The third, fourth, and fifth bases are very spread out in this map, and they do make it a little bit awkward coming into the mid game. But Soul is going to avoid that completely, as Lings are going to be flooding across the map as we speak. Let's go. He's going to send it. Gonna send that map. Aye, aye, aye. Yeah, here we go. We go for the 12 pool drone. Let's go, man. Let's go. 12 pool drone pool here. One way or another, Solar, he either kills MaxPax or he dies trying. MaxPax back at home, going for his own gate expanded to Cybercore. No probe scout. No shot. Zero probe scout out of MaxPax. This might be a trend here. I'm not too familiar with his PvZ specifically, but if MaxPax is known not to pylon block and not to probe scout, this is actually really nicely formulated here by Solar. Very smart play, very smart style here to abuse some of the tendencies of MaxPax. And here we go. The pylon gets surrounded, and that's game. That's just game then and there. The pylon goes down. That means no gateways, no zealots, no nothing. Boys are being pulled. Lings, they do fights. There's nothing being produced, so he knows he can afford to fight, and every probe should go down. The Lings will overwhelm. A nice control by Solar. GG gets called, and Solar, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. I didn't even get to put up the predictions. The game just ended. But GG, well played. If you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Predictions are now open. Place your bets to get your gambling going as we're getting into our series here. I often do forget predictions if we ever have some hyper cheese at the beginning, because I get so engrossed in the game itself, so I do apologize. But Solo's up 1-0, and Solo needs 2 more to take the series. GG, well played. And again, it is standard to probe scouts. We saw no probe scout out of MaxPax, so he had no information ahead of time as to the all-in that was coming. Otherwise, we would have seen the boys being pulled preemptively. We would have seen a zealot being chronoed out to defend. Would have seen a much crisper response. But again, we saw no response out of MaxPax because he had no idea what was happening. He was cutting corners. He was playing blind. He gets punished for it. GG, well played. As we're getting into game number 2. So Sister Mad Lad, I mean, again, if MaxPax is known for cutting corners and known for not probe scouting, then it's calculated. It's calculated. So with that, a quick win here for Solar. Now we're loading into Mothership. And now, of course, I would imagine that that MaxPax will probe scout, or at least he should. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Mothership, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sidestrom Gaming. Down in the series, we'll see if he mounts back. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. So we're settling into our game, we're settling into our series. MaxPax setting up the low ground, and welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map. 3-player spawn map, very large, very wide, very open as well, and as a result, I would say it is difficult for the Protoss player to defend on 3 and 4 bases. I would give the edge to Solar coming into a longer game, and I don't really expect him to be too aggressive early on. There's no need to. Just calm down, get into a natural, into a 3rd base, into a 3-base setup, into a 4th, into Ling Hydra is what we're expecting, as MaxPax this time does scout. He's looking for his opponent. He will scout top right. He will find that Solo's nowhere to be found. And Solo this time does go for the 15-15, or 15 hatchery timing, I should say, into gas, into pool. So standard build here by Solar. It's going to be droning, going to be saturating, going to be building up. And settling in. As MaxPax does confirm that there's a hatchery, goes in to confirm the initial build. From here, there's a Stargate. So again, standard opener here, Stargate out of MaxPax, Solar joining up on 2 bases, getting a third, like everything's looking as it should be. Don't really expect anything crazy, not here. As we mentioned, I do feel like Mothership is a very good map for Solar to just macro on. Just build up on 4 bases. And we'll see if that's going to be the case. Oh, as MaxPax opening up with a Void Ray. Okay, I do like this. I do think that MaxPax needs to mix things up. I feel like if he just played standard, he would be at a deficit. So just going to be mixing things up here, going for the Void Ray and hiding his follow-up tech. So MaxPax being a little bit spicy. Tech picks in, pulls away. No major damage, not yet. We have our safety spores on the way at 330. So spores are in production. Second queen is already here on the low ground. We have more queens on the way. Solar already getting fully saturated here on 2 bases. Getting up to full saturation. And the Void Ray is going to be hunting down Overlords. For now we have a Void Ray into Oracle. And we'll keep an eye open for any early tech. It may just be a standard opener anyway, just with a Void Ray. It's possible. Nice interception. Very nice. Void Ray takes a lot of damage, does find an Overlord. Finds one. There's no transfuse. Yeah, no transfuse. The Overlord will go down. Void Ray takes a lot of damage, but does get away. Does pull out, does get away. And it's going to be Void Ray into second Stargate. Very cheeky here. Okay. So second Stargate's on the way. And again, I do like this. I do feel like this is a little bit more necessary on this map. We do have a second Void Ray in production as well. The Overlord Solar, he sees, but does it click? Does it click on what's being built there? Does he double check? Solar, he needs to know. Lings are moving out. Solar, I don't think he clicked on it, by the way. The Overlord saw, but did Solar? Did he take note? Hold up. So we have a second Stargate, that is true. Are we going into mass Void Ray? The answer is yes. Okay, so it's going to be mass Void Ray, I believe, into charge. So we have the Evo Chamber, so we have the Forge, we have the Twilight Council. I believe that should be a charge follow-up. So mass Zealot into mass Void Ray. Let's go. And this can catch players off guard. Hero, he was messing around with this a little bit. I mean, Hero, his variation was going mass Oracle into charge. This is mass Void Ray into charge instead. So MaxPax adds his own flair to it. And if this goes unscouted, this can overwhelm. Now it is going to be Ling Hydra out of Solar. Without Banelings, it's going to be a tough hold. Solar is yet to confirm. He has yet to confirm what's going on. He has seen the second Void Ray. And now he confirms the third. Yep. Confirms there's a third Void Ray on the way. Mass Hydra will deal with the Void Rays, but again, that's what the Delta for. That's why Banelings is going to be necessary here to defend. Without Banelings, the charge lots are just going to wreak havoc. Here we go, Mass Void Ray into the main. No, we're 3D printing Colossus. Let's go. Going into the main base, we have the mass prismatic alignments. Hydras are somewhat keeping up. Steps on the right hand side. Ooh, and Storm is in production. Storm is on the way. Despite getting charged, where are the warp-ins? They're not available yet. Adepts distracts. Here comes Solar right down the center. Solar, he's going for an all-in. You can see here, he does not saturate the third. Third base is undersaturated. Fourth base just for Larva. He's going for the push, going for the all-in, going for purely Ling Hydra. No Evo Chamber upgrades whatsoever, just Hydra upgrades. He's going all-in, and we'll see if he can strike before Storm. Charge is done, but where are the warp-ins? Yeah, the wall is broken. High Templar coming in, but remember, there's no Storm. Yeah, Storm is not ready. No shield batteries. Oh no! He can't collapse in. Yeah, cannon he will. The cannon will finish. High Templar being chased down. Cannon will fall. Storm is done in 1 second. Just in time. Wow, just barely in time. They say, well, these High Templar could have gone down. I mean, despite that, the Hydras are breaking through. There are the Storms. Hydras, they pull away. Nice kiting. Nice concave. Oof. Yeah, brutal Storm towards the end. As we're down to one Storm. One Storm is left. Hydras, they get in. That's the final Storm. And that's it. That's all he had left. The Mass Hydra, he's doing it. It's so close. The Archons are morphing in. There's two Archons and there's another Storm. With that, MaxPax, he's holding. He's holding on. He's holding on to one more Storm. And the Zealots, they wreak havoc. We did mention this without Baneling. Zealots, they just kill everything. The Charge, they hunt down the Hydras. Queens that were Lingen, they could have been useful earlier. It was close. It was very close. There's that final Storm. And MaxPax, he does defend, and he still has the higher probe count. Like, he's got 67 workers. MaxPax is ahead. He's ahead. He's getting further ahead. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. Sol has been all in this entire time, and he has failed to kill MaxPax. And he was so close as well. He just didn't kill any High Templar early on. Like, and to be fair, he didn't know. He didn't know there was no Storm, so he was being very tentative. That did hurt him in the end. Yeah, the Hydras are... I mean, there's not really many Hydras here. And there are so many Storms. Ooh. Does get one High Templar. Oh, good. Yeah, Storm connects. Hydras are softened up. Hydras are very low. Oh, they get across the map. There's nothing in him to defend. Solo turns everything around. Ay. Turns around his reinforcements. And again, MaxPax, he just has the more efficient army at the moment. This still comes down to the Storms, but even then, we're building up Archons, Immortals. More Chargeless as well. Oof. Now the Storm lands. There's still 6 High Templar. And MaxPax, he's still probing, by the way. He's getting another base. That's how confident he is. Lings, they will get into the bases. Oof. Another Storm. Another Storm lands. Oh god, oh, he gets through the Storm. Goes through the Storm. GG gets called. Totally will lose everything. And MaxPax, he will tie up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. We'll tie the series up. And again, MaxPax, he was able to buy enough time for Storm to complete. There was an opportunity there for Solar, but as we were trying to emphasize, Solar didn't know that Storm wasn't done. He didn't know that there was a window where he could actually just push into those High Templar. Because of that, he respected too much. He saw there was 6 High Templar, so he backed off. He didn't want to get stormed. Didn't realize there was no Storm. So there was a missed opportunity there for Solar, and with that, the High Templar, they survived. They got their Storms off, and with that, MaxPax does hold. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And now we're getting into game number 3. Beat Hydras with Void Rays. I mean, he beat Hydras with Charge and Storm. That's the point of the follow-up, is that you open up double Stargate Void Ray, so you force out Hydras, and then you hard counter with Storm and Charge lots, right? Like you're kind of baiting Hydras, and you're going to be able to overwhelm the Hydra army with Storm and Charge lots. That's why Solo was all in, because his armor is just going to be outscaled by what MaxPax had. And GG. GG, well played. Here we go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And welcome one and all to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Tourmaline has a very direct rush distance across the map, so we do expect all-ins. This is a better map for all-ins. Mothership is worse. Mothership is a larger map, longer rush distance by ground. Here, just because of how open specifically, I mean, look how open this third base is. It's the entrance is huge, especially if you can knock down these rocks. If the rocks get knocked down, we have a massive arc and a massive entrance into the third base. Likewise, here, in between the third and the natural, another massive entrance as well. So we've seen a lot of successful all-ins here on this map, so I do expect to see Solar cut workers again and go for another all-in. Not the same kind, but another variation is what we're expecting out of Solar. Meanwhile, out of MaxPax, because aggression is so favored here on Tourmaline, we do expect to see MaxPax be aggressive himself, and we kind of saw that on Mothership, right? So we saw the Mothership going into Double Void Ray, then going into Storm. We'll see if he goes into early Blink, for example. I feel like early Blink has to be a must here. We'll see. We'll see if he goes into early Blink or early Glaives. It should still be a Stargate opener, but I'm referring to the Twilight Council timing after the Stargate. And again, this isn't just how massive the entrances are here to the third and to the natural. Also, there's no ramp. Like, there's no high ground. Like, there's no high ground advantage. There's no ramp advantage. There's no choke point. It's very open. Also, hello, Rowdy. See Rowdy in the chat. Este Getcha as well. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Here comes the Stargate. Stargate is on the way, leading into a third base. And again, what we're really curious about is going to be that Twilight Council timing out of MaxPax. Is what we care about. Ted moves out. Here we are still building up Lings. They do try to poke in for a scout. They get past the natural into the main base. They will confirm it is an Oracle first, not a Void Ray. Oh. Does a nice mining. Okay. Jesus. This is an overreaction. There's an Adept in the main. Overreaction here by MaxPax. It was distracted. Oracle will shut this down. But again, MaxPax, he very much wants to deal with these Lings. Big reaction. Meanwhile, shout out to Yommers in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for the first time. Sorry, I said for the first time. Subscribing here for 3 months. For 3 months. Thank you. Thank you. Do appreciate the support. Gracias. And that is a Twilight Council before third. So now we see why he wanted to kill those Lings. I mean, it was a little bit obvious, and maybe too obvious, because Solo, I'm sure he was like, hold on, why are you pulling the boys against my Lings? Like, that was crazy. It's because he does plan on going for early tech, which was expected on Tourmaline. Was expected. 3 gateways are going to be thrown down. Do we go into Blink or do we go into Glaives? What's it going to be? Lings, they try to poke in. They will get 1 probe. Twilight Council is done. Gibbs, Matty Gibbs. And there it is, Glaveadeps. So Glaveadeps here out of MaxPax. And again, Solar, he should realize that something is wrong. He should realize that most likely there's hidden tech in the main base. What exactly, yet to be determined. And he's going for the safety Roach Warren. So safety Roach Warren timing. Also, let's say baby links in the chat as well. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Buenos dias. Good morning. As the Oracles, they move out across the map. As Solar hopefully doesn't drone up too much here. He's getting up to 3 base saturation. Adepts are amassing. They're going to be warping into the into the natural. They're being kept hidden. MaxPax keeping them back. Ooh, as the Oracles, they do get some drones. They get 3 drone kills. Roach production has begun. Adepts are amassing. And Solar, he needs more roaches. He only has 4 so far, and he still he drones. Yeah, Solar drones up. Ay, ay, ay. So very greedy response here by Solar. Does see some Adepts moving out. Now he sees everything he knows. Yeah, now he knows. And instantly starts up roach production, but these are delayed. Delayed roaches here from Solar. He does have some city. He needs to wall up. He needs to wall off. He's trying to. Okay, there we go. Does right on the Eva chamber. He needs another building though. Tumor's in the way. There it is. Oh no! No, no! The Adepts! They make it in! They make their way in. Ay, ay, ay. The tumor. Yeah, the tumor did block. Adepts, they bust into the main base. Not like this, and drones are going to be going down. Gets 1, getting up to 2. 2 drones so far. I mean, not too much damage yet. Oh. Yeah, not too much. Roaches, they will deflect. Adepts, they bust into the natural. Oh, we're getting more damage. 6 drone kills. Getting up to 6, getting up to 8. We have more Adepts in the main base, and this is getting a little bit out of hand here. Up to 9 drones, up to 10. Again, 10 drones go down, and you can argue that should have been 0, right? It's like, again, you saw that there was the tumor in the way. Solar, he could not wall off. He tried to, but then the roaches came in to reinforce. A very chaotic defense here at the natural. Failed to wall. And MaxPax, remember, this was not an all-in. I should emphasize that. This was Stargate into Twilight Council, not Twilight Council. So this is not an all-in. This was a macro build. We're getting to Blink at +1, a 4th base as well. MaxPax is settling in towards a longer game, and Solar is redroning. He's redroning, he's resaturating. He was forced to make all these roaches. His upgrades in tech were delayed. And because of that defense, that means that, hey, MaxPax, he gets his 3rd. Gets his 3rd fully operational. Pressure's on Solar. Aya's going into Hydras. So he's taking up. He's droning up. But again, Solar's initial build was disrupted. I'll say that MaxPax has momentum. Solar coming in from behind. Nice flank. Oof, stasis goes off. He does get 1 Stalker kill. Gets 1 Stalker, pulls away, and it's all about just buying time. Solar, he's droning, he's saturating, getting up to 80 workers. Eventually into Hydras, and the question becomes, does he take his gases? If he takes his gases, that's indicative of Hive Tech into Lurkers. Otherwise, he might just max out with laying Roach Hydra. Meanwhile, MaxPax is working on his splash damage. Temple Archives on the way for Storm. Center base is under fire. Ooh, Adepts, they get 3 more drones. And Solar, he does commit. Gets a couple of Stalkers, not bad. 3, 4 Stalkers going down, very nice damage. Solar, he does punish, and you can see he's slowly building up more Hydras. More Hydras are amassing, and I don't see an infestation pit. I don't see any extra gases. Okay, he's committing. You can see Solar making 24 more lings, making 11 banelings as well. Solar, he has no intention of taking up in the Hive. Oh. But again, not quite in position. Solar's taken into the bases. Queen is going to be shut down. Mining is denied. Solar's being delayed long enough for Storm. Right, Storm will finish. It will finish in time to defend, and what do we have to defend now? On the one hand, MaxPax, he did a great job at buying time for Storm. On the other hand, we did emphasize at the beginning of the game how difficult it is for Protoss to defend on 3 bases. You can see just how open this area is. Solar, he just ignored the 4th. He ignored, and the 4th is on the low ground as well. Like, it's just brutal bases all around. Lings, they come in for this round, they get 1. They force out 2 Storms. There's 1 Storm left. Soon to be 2. But again, MaxPax is at a disadvantage trying to defend. Low ground 4th is crazy, by the way. Like, I can't remember the last time we had a base set up like this. It's crazy. Oh, the Banelings are denied. Nicely done. Denies the Banelings. Meanwhile, Banelings do roll into the middle line. Oh no! Ooh, massive connections. 10 probes. Takes on 10 workers. Solar, he does remax. And again, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. So Solar, he has to end the game soon. He's not set up for the late game. Zealots are buying time. They're distracting Solar. They're causing distractions. MaxPax taking another base. Solar splitting up his army. He splits, he's going for both fringe bases. Northern base does hit first. Always hit first. Aces does connect. Very nice aces. Aliens are rolling in. Oh no! Late reaction. Yeah, late reaction by MaxPax and probes. It looks like they should go down. Oof. They do connect. Northern base will fall, and Solar's pushing in towards the natural, towards the 3rd as well. MaxPax being pulled apart. Stace is about to run out. Lanes are trying to break through. They fail to do so. That's still going to be 16 probe kills. And 16 probes, and MaxPax, he cannot keep up. He can't keep up, not anymore. Hydras are breaking through. Second army's pushing back in. MaxPax is just being pulled apart from one side then to the other. And Solar, can he break down that door? Oh no, the storm! Oh my god. Massive storms. MaxPax is holding on. How many more High Templar? He's got 6. 6 in total. He's holding on to 2, soon to be 3 storms. So 2 storms currently with the army. Let's go 2 storms. Going back in. So he needs to break down this door. He needs to break in. And he will. Aliens they crash forward. We have more storms to defend. Does land. MaxPax is holding on. He's got plenty of Archons. He's trying to hold on, but the natural has finally been broken. Lings are flooding in. Robo gets depowered. Banelings into the mineral line. A little bit messy there from Solar. Oof. As the main army has to back up, the Hydras are very exposed. He has to get out of here. Hydras pull away. That's going to be 17 probe kills. And Solar, he keeps going. The 4 hero Lings. And again, like, this map is just not built to defend on 4 bases. Like, you know. No. It's just so difficult to pull this off. But it's a best of 5, so limited vetoes, of course. Does catch 4 Archons in the center. Very nice catch here by Solar. And again, outside of some amazing storms, Solar, he should break him. He should break MaxPax. I say that, that's still a lot of High Templar. He's got 8 High Templar. With some solid storms, like, he can kill Solar. He can do it. Again, Solar has a very fragile army. Solar's moving in. And now he's being deflected. Storm does crazy army. Hydras to get behind the mineral line. Nice movement here by Solar. He gets in. He does force out the Archons. Both Archons go down. And Solar, he's breaking this position at the same time. He also pushes into the natural. Banelings, they roll in. They get the mineral line. And mineral line goes down. 28 more probes. And as we mentioned, like, he should overwhelm. Like, MaxPax, there's no shot he's able to defend. Not here, not this time. GG gets called, and Solar, he does take lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played, and with that, Solar takes the lead. Again, Tourmaline is a very, very aggressive map. It favors aggression so much, as we were trying to emphasize. It is so difficult to defend your third base, and your fourth, and your fifth as well. Like, all the bases outside of your first two, even your natural. Like, every base is difficult to defend here on Tourmaline, and Solar to take advantage of that. To be fair, this is why MaxPax went Glaive Adepts, right? This is the reason why he went Glaive Adepts at the beginning, is to try to be aggressive and deal critical damage early on. He did get 10 drone kills, but that was not enough. Like, 10 drones was good, but not enough to really disrupt and delay Solar to give him the time he needed. I mean, I say that, he did successfully get his fourth, right? He got his fourth base up and running, but that wasn't good enough. Not good enough here, not on Tourmaline, just because of how exposed the bases are. With that Solar, he committed to an all-in. It's hard to say all-in, but he did have 80 drones, 4 bases, but he did not take up into Hive or into Lurkers or into anything else. He was completely all-in. If at any point he took a bad fight, then MaxPax would recover and would take it from there. And in the end, Solar did break him. GG. GG, well played. Now we're loading into game number 4, potentially the final game of the series. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself. We have the Danish Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player, or the blue Zerg player himself, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And we actually did bring this map up in the previous game. I was saying, yo, you think the Old Republic is bad? I mean, Tourmaline, you can't take any base. Here, the Old Republic, welcome one and all. This is a larger map compared to Tourmaline, that is true. But similar to Tourmaline, this fourth base is so difficult to defend. This low ground fourth base and the linear fourth base as well. They are very difficult to defend. As a result, if MaxPax tries to turtle up and get into Sky Toss, it's going to be very difficult to pull off here. We expect to see Solar go for... I mean, he doesn't even need to all in, but we expect him to be hyper aggressive, to gain map control, and to contain, and to just shut MaxPax down. We'll see how MaxPax will approach this map. I'll be very impressed if he can set up on 4 bases. He tried to on Tourmaline, but again, the map was working against him. We'll see if he can do so here. We'll see if he goes into another early Twilight Council. Again, I'm a little bit surprised as to the vetoes, but also a reminder that we're still early in the season, which means players are a little bit less familiar with what is good and what isn't, what strengths and weaknesses are in each map. It looks like some of the other smaller maps are vetoed, referring to Riri Rock, referring to 10,000 feet. I would say that MaxPax would have had an easier time on those maps compared to these ones, though. Like, I don't know, if I was Protoss, I feel like Tourmaline and the Old Republic should be insta-vetoes in ZVP. But regardless, we're getting in, and we'll see if MaxPax can defy expectations, or if he has something else quirky up his sleeve. But now, Stargate opener into a third base. The opener is standard. We're looking for the Twilight Council timing. Does he go into Glaives again? Does he go into early Blink? I wouldn't be opposed to early Blink Stalkers here. Even 8K Blink might be strong on this map. Maybe. We'll see. As once again, Void Ray opener. This makes sense. So Void Ray opener out of MaxPax, he's going to hide his tech. Does he go for Glaives? Does he go into Blink? Does he go into a second Stargate? Do we go into a Fleet Beacon, into a Tempest Rush? What's it going to be? So far, 3 drones. Very nice. Nice damage here out of MaxPax. Well, it does go down. And here comes a second Void Ray. This is looking very similar to the game on Mothership. Okay. The game 2. Second Void Ray is on the way. Are we going to charge as a follow-up? What's the plan? Meanwhile, Lings, they will get across the map. We do have a faster lair out of Solar. That is a lair before Eva Chamber. You have my attention. Oracle will zone away. And it's going to be Twilight Council alongside the Forge. Doesn't go for the second Stargate this time. Does make more Void Rays. That is true. As he has 2, soon to be 3 Void Rays, but this time it's going to be less of a commitment to Void Rays. And I believe this should be +1 in charge. But we'll keep an eye on MaxPax. We mentioned this on Mothership, how you want to bait the opponent into Ling Hydra with your Void Rays and then catch them off guard with Storm and with Charge Lots. We'll see if that's the case. As Void Rays to arrive. More Void Rays in production. Oh, and now we see why we went for the fast lair. So lair first, no upgrades into a Ling Queen Nida Soul in. Ay, okay. Meanwhile, it is going to be +1 in charge, as we did expect. +1 charge into Temple Archives into Storm. But the problem is that this hits late. The problem is that MaxPax needs more time to get into Storm, and meanwhile, the all-in is hitting now. So swift moves here by Solar. Lings, they poke in. He sees the Zealot. That's a big tell. He knows. Yeah, the Zealot, there should be no Zealot at this stage of the game. So charge is revealed. Nidus into the main base. Lings, they're flooding in. They distract the Oracle. And the Voiders out of position. They're out of position. They're racing back home. The Nidus will complete. Yeah, no reaction here out of MaxPax. Lings, they pop up in the mineral line. There's the NG overcharge. Queens, they bust in. There are so many Queens. And they need to spread creep. Yeah, creep is spreading. We have more Nidus worms. Going for the Artosis pylon. No, the pylon. The pylon's going to go down, denying +1 charge and Void Ray production. Everything gets depowered. Ay. And Solar, he's here to end the game. He's here to end the game. He's here to kill. There's one more pylon finishing. Oh, now let's transfuse. Pylon does repower the Stargates. Queens, they pull back. We have Spine Crawlers on the way. Oof. Snipes onto the Voids. They'll snipe a Void Ray, getting on top of the Temple Archives as well, which means what you see is what you get when it comes to Archons. Nice feedbacks. Does feedback. Queens are being forced back as well, and Solar, ooh, he's running. Solar, he's running up back at home. Everything gets repowered. He needs those Spine Crawlers. Has Lings, they do flood in towards the natural. +1 is denied. And nice around. Archon falls. Charge is complete. We have more Zealots on the way. And with the Spine Crawler finishing, I believe Solar, he should maintain this position. Yeah, he does maintain. He's wreaking havoc on the low ground. Charge will say move in. One Queen gets caught. He gets one. But just the one. And again, let's say Solar, he's done it. Like MaxPax, he has been broken. Losing all of his probes. The Queens cannot be dealt with. We are getting some Warpins in, but only some. And Solar behind is going into Roaches. Smartly is not going into Hydra. Kills the main base. Void Rays, they get one of the Spine Crawlers, are going for the other. The Queens are still barely holding their own. Yeah, they're barely holding on. Oof. Yeah, as now they have to back off. Zealots, they will clean this up. But there's still Lings in the natural. Every Queen will go down. Oh, actually, 2 Queens escape. Okay, 2 Queens, they barely get away. Lings, they head on over towards... Oh, they do pull back. And Solar, he has a very comfortable lead. He's got double the worker count. And likewise, he has more Roaches on the way. He has Overlord speed in production. We have more Queens. What does Overlord speed mean? That means he can go for a Drop Lord counterattack. Oh boy. Solar's not done. He's not done. He doesn't want to let MaxPax recover in this game. He's building up to a second wave, a second all-in. Let's go. Just waiting for the drop lords. Oh no. Yeah, GG gets caught, spots all the roaches, and Solar, he will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar, he will claim the series. Again, MaxPax was being cheeky with his build, going in a mass void ray into charge Archon, very similar to the game on Mothership, but Solar instead, he was able to strike MaxPax before he could get away with his cheeky build. Solar went for his own all-in. He was able to hit before Storm, before charge finished as well, before +1, before MaxPax could hit his timing. Solar did stop it. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Solar. Does advance on to the finals. Again, a very aggressive build here out of Solar. We had the 12-pool drone pool in game 1. We had the Ling Hydra all-in on Mothership that did fail. We saw in game 2 that was MaxPax being cheeky, MaxPax going into Glaives, and Solar going for a Lair Tech all-in. And here in game number 4, we did have the Ling Queen Nidus all-in as well. So fun fact, every game of the series, Solar went for a different all-in. Different all-in in every game. But I appreciate all the variety here from Solar. Do appreciate it. GG, well played. And again, what I will say, it isn't just he went for an all-in in every game. A lot of these maps do favor all-ins. Talking about Old Republic, talking about Tourmaline as well. So there are certain maps that do kind of favor that kind of style. 10,000 feet, true. 10,000 feet as well. That was game 1. But with that, GG, well played. With that, Solar does claim the series. And now let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out what's been going on and where exactly we are. What's happening? Oh,